Hello guys, welcome back to a new reading vlog. This is a couple of days prior to filming the last clip of the video because I have been busy and I've been very sick, and so I just realized that I have not made an intro for this reading vlog. To start off, our first book for this video is Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver, one of my most anticipated new releases of the second half of the month. Wild Eyes is the second book in the Rose Hill series following Wild Love that came out I think a couple of months ago. I think it came out in April, or was it May? I'm not so sure, but this is the sequel after Wild Love. This book follows Rosie's brother. Rosie is the main character in Wild Love, and this book follows her brother West and a love interest who is mentioned in the first book, and her name is Skylar Stone. She is a world-known singer, and basically I feel like she's basically just Britney Spears. She's the depiction of Britney Spears. So today is day 2 of reading Wild Eyes. I am currently in page 98. This was actually a really easy read for me. I'm almost at 100 pages now. If you guys don't know about this book yet, Wild Eyes basically follows Rosie's, the main girl character from the previous book, Wild Love. We follow Rosie's brother West, and he is, what is he? Is he like he owns like a ranch or something? I forgot, but it follows West and this girl named Skylar Stone. We've heard her mentioned in the previous book because Ford has a recording studio, and so Ford is working with Skylar, who is a pop star. She's a singer, and she goes to the small town of Rose Hill to get away from her life in the city, and so she meets West. And when we got introduced to the characters, it was so fun. It reminded me so much of Did You Hear About the Morgans, because there's the scene in Did You Hear About the Morgans where the characters, I forget their names, but where the characters somehow has encountered a bear. I forgot. Oh, they were on a hike, and then when they came home from their hike or run, they encounter a bear because they're in the middle of the woods. And basically that's kind of what the beginning of this book was like, and that reminded me so much of that movie. And I love Did You Hear About the Morgans, and so yeah, reading this one, it was really fun and hilarious, and I really liked it. So far so good, and as I said, I'm on chapter 8, but I can tell that this book is really sweet. Wes has 2 young kids. Their names are Oliver and Emmy, and they are so cute. I think I'm kind of the person who is a sucker for a single dad trope, and the kids are so sweet and so cute, especially Emmy. She's she's like a firecracker, honestly, and she's so adorable. And then we have Oliver, who is just quiet and sweet. I'm really having a great time reading this book, and I will give you guys more updates later when I get more into this book. Hello guys, I'm around 150 pages in, and I'm loving it so far, but we gotta talk about continuing the book series that I've been reading, because the thing is, if you look into my reading journal, I have a couple of books series that I have not finished, and looking at my shelf right now, I do have a couple that I have finally completed, such as the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and then I also have Akatar, which I have not yet finished. I don't know why, I just don't feel like I want to continue the series. It's really big, and the last book that I read was back in May last year, and it's very tiring, honestly. Like, I'm just tired of the book, and I don't know if I even want to continue the series. So maybe we'll talk about that one day, but not right now. And then I also have the Chestnut Springs series. I have the Magnolia Parks Daisy Hates series, and then I have the Knockabout series, which I finished last year. And then I also have a couple of other series that I have unintentionally added to the list of unfinished series, such as the Windy City series. Very ironic is that I started the Windy City series from Play Along, so it's the fourth book, and I'm starting that series from the fourth book, and I'm working my way down to the first book. And then I also have, as I said, Wild Love. I did successfully, however, finish the Chestnut Spring series this year, so I'm done with that series, and now I'm in the Rose Hill, yeah, Rose Hill series, and I'm currently reading the second book, so very excited for that. And then what else? I think that's all. Oh, I really want to start her other series. What's it called? I can't remember. Is it the Blue Ranch? No, yeah, I don't know what's her first series, but I'm very intrigued to read that series. So while we're in the subject of Elsie Silver's book, I might just give you guys a reading update. I'm 158 pages in. Very smooth reading. I don't even know what to say. It's been a really good read so far. 158 pages, loved it. I'm still working on finishing this book this week. Hopefully I can finish this book this week. I feel like I really care a lot for Skylar as a character, and I also really love the kids in this book. But the thing is, I did not expect some things to actually hit me, like when Skylar was talking about her relationship with her parents. And I think Wes is such a sweet character. I feel like he's that kind of like cinnamon roll MMC, so I'm really loving that. And their banter is also really good. So far I've had quite the emotional roller coaster in this book. Like, I've shed a single tear while I'm reading this book, and then I also have laughed because of the hilarious and ridiculous things that happens in this book. And it's been a really fun ride so far, and I'm only like 35% through the book, so I'm very excited to see how this is gonna go. And I'm probably gonna give you guys an update halfway through the book, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this book. Also, really quick, I might have to interrupt this video just to unbox a book that I'm very excited about. It just came in the mail today when I got home, and I've been waiting for this book for a month, and I'm so excited to open this. But now I'm very intimidated because I don't even know how I'm gonna like this book. But it's kind of like a big book, because like a lot of people, it's kind of like there's a debate going on about how much people enjoy this book, but like we'll see how much I like this book. But I think, just for the sake of our mental well-being, I think I might just have to read this book while reading another book, just so I can like switch up if things get a little bit too heavy. So let's unbox this book. It's binding 13. It's this thick of a book. I'm happy about it. I'm just very intimidated, but I'm very excited that this book actually came. Hey guys, this is a couple of days later. I am still going through Wild Eyes, but yesterday I just wanted to give you guys a little update. Yesterday my bestie Tessa came over, and so we had a really fun girls' day here in my house, and we just ended up talking, catching up, and then we also just talk a lot about books and life updates and all of that. But I also got some reading in. We decided that we were going to read as well. So I got a couple of pages in yesterday, and then I continued today. So far, I am on page, let me check. I'm on page 314. This book is quite the ride. I love this book so far. 314 pages flew by for me. For today is like the 5th day of reading, and I don't know if I can finish it today, but if I want to, I could. Possibly I will finish it tomorrow. So like 6 days of reading tops. It's pretty crazy, but I love this book so far. I enjoy it. I don't have really deep feelings for the characters, but as far as it goes, I do feel for Skylar a lot because of some things that she goes through with her relationship with her parents. Feels very transactional because her parents uses her stardom for money. So far, the kids in this book, I actually think they are so adorable, especially with two kids that have completely different personalities. One is a very shy kid and the other is a very outspoken kid. So that really speaks to some, I don't know, some part of me. For some reason, I love kids in books. So far it's so cute, but sometimes I kind of wonder, like, do 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds actually talk like this? Because I don't think so. I have a 12-year-old sister, and she doesn't even talk that wise. So I am actually really, really happy that I picked up this book. Actually, I mean, for a new release, I might have to say that I probably this is like an no, not anticipation. What is it called? What is the word that I'm looking for? Oh my gosh. Okay, found it. This is just a little prediction from me. I feel like this book could be a potential 4.25 stars, or if solid 4 stars. I don't know where I land with that. I don't know. I still have like 100 pages for this book, so a lot can happen in 100 pages, obviously. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this book, and I will update you guys on my thoughts if I have more thoughts, or we will just skip to the part where I tell you guys overall my rating for this book. So we'll see. I'm 396 pages in. I only have a couple of pages left because it's like 420 pages, I think. So I have like a couple of pages left. Yeah, 420-ish pages, not counting the epilogue. I still have a couple of more pages to go through, so I will keep you guys updated after this. I need to do some stuff first, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will finish this book today. Oh my god, I'm already in page 420. It's going to end. I don't know, the start and the end of this book is so, I don't know, outlandish, and it's so funny to me. I just love it. The ending is ridiculous, but at the same time, very, very cute. I skimmed I skimmed the epilogue because I'm not big on epilogues, but I finished Wild Eyes finally and I loved it. Um, I may have to say, like, it's not like, it's not giving me 5 stars, but it is giving me like a 4.5 stars. I liked it. I really love the emotional tug it has on me. So this book is really, really good. I love the ending to this book. It's very, I think the ending of this book was very, very, it just felt very funny to me. Like, it's you saw me laughing while reading this, and that's how I felt reading this book. I've had moments where I almost wanted to cry because I was very emotionally encapsulated in this book, and then there are moments where I just go like all out laughing because of how ridiculous some things are, and it just makes sense for both of the characters. I love Skylar's growth in this book. I love how sweet West is. I think he is such a good guy. The kids in this book are so cute. I cannot get enough of them. Every time they show up in the book, I absolutely love them. So I feel like this book, I loved Wild Eyes much more than I loved Wild Love, I think. This one is a 4.5 stars for me. I think that's going to be my final rating, but for now, I'm gonna leave it off to this book, and I'm done with this book. I we have to wait until like March of next year for what's the third book again? There's a sneak peek of it. I just can't remember. Okay, the next book is Wild Side, and we're following Riz and Tabitha. We got introduced to both of the characters in this book, and I don't know. I think it's going to be like, I think the next book is going to be like a marriage of convenience, probably. I don't know. But from sneak peeks that we get from this book, I think that's going to be the trope for the next book. And I'm very excited for that because Tabitha is quite the Catwoman, and I'm very excited for that. And I just can't wait until we get more cameos of the previous characters, especially West and Skylar and the kids, because I love them so much. They're adorable, and it just makes sense, you know. But we'll have to wait until next year. I cannot wait for that. I am so excited. But I finally finished one September read. Literally, this is my first September read, and I'm so excited about this. And moving on, I think I'm going to be multi-reading next, but I will update you guys later. Okay, I'm back. I didn't have my mic with me earlier, but as I said, I finished Wild Eyes. It is now tucked away in my bookshelf with the remaining Elsie Silver books. Not the remaining, the rest of Elsie Silver books. And it's also really cute how the mountains line up in the spine, so that's pretty cute. So, giving you guys a book update, the next book that I'll be reading, well, really books that I'll be reading, but for this video, I am going to be continuing a series that I started, and for this particular series, I did, however, start from the last book that was published to the first book that was published, I guess. So, I'm going in reverse because I started with the fourth book, and that series is the Windy City series, and I'm picking up Caught Up by Liz Tomford. This is the third book in the series. This follows Isaiah's brother. His name is Kai. We get glimpses of him in the play along book, and I love him for who he is in that book, so I'm very curious to read his story. He is a single dad, I believe, and I don't really know much past that, so I'm very excited to read this book. And also, as I said, multiple books this time. I'm going to be not multiple. I just only have two books really. I'm just being dramatic. So other than Caught Up, I will also be reading this massive book, and that is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. It is thick, you guys. I peeked at how many pages this book has, and it's 800 pages. I don't even know if I will finish 800 pages this month. Let's just hope I do, because this book I'm going to be Oh my god. This book that I'll be reading, Binding 13, I am going to be reading this book with my book bestie Amy. She already started it, and I'm going to start because I just finished Wild Eyes. I'm excited, but I also put like a little bit of a disclaimer because I've heard nothing but good things about this book, but it also, besides the good things that I've heard of this book has a lot of triggering factors in it. So I'm saying that this book is quite the heavy series, literally and metaphorically. So, with that being said, that's why I decided that I'm going to start this series and then also read another series or like another book, just so like I can switch between these two books. Oh wait, look how cute they match. Oh, it would actually match so cute with Wild Eyes, but I can't grab it right now. I have my hands full with two books already. But anyways, yeah, I I think that for the sake of mental well-beings, I'd be switching back and forth between these two books just so I don't I don't go crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Caught Up will help me stay sane. And I think if I do finish Caught Up, I might just get another book that will feel very lighthearted, very easy to read, and yeah. I've never read Chloe Walsh's book, so this is my first time reading her book, and yeah, you can see the concerned look in my face, but yeah, I'll be reading both books, and for this vlog, I will be talking much more about Caught Up. So, yeah, I'll update you guys as I go through. Okay, guys, so I thought about giving you guys an update for Caught Up because right now I'm really not that far in. I'm on page 74 as of now. I just finished the previous chapter, and so far, I am absolutely loving this book. Right from the get-go, when I started this book, I just knew that this is going to be one of my favorite books as well. I don't know if I'm going to love it as much as I loved Play Along, but this book is a really great contender for Play Along because I don't know, the writing feels so familiar and it feels so comforting. It almost has the same vibe as I would read an Elsie Silver book. I absolutely love Elsie Silver. Nope. I absolutely love Liz Tomford's writing as of now. I've read two books by her now. Still trying to get through, obviously, book two, but basically I just love her writing. It flows really well and it throws you right into the scene without a lot of like background information in the first few sentences. You it kind of explains their backgrounds while you get into the story, so it makes more sense and it feels a little bit more natural rather than like them putting I don't know, it's just something that feels very natural in a way because it doesn't feel very book, you know, it doesn't feel like very made up, you know. Sometimes In the beginning of the book, there will be a lot of explanation as to the background of the book, but I feel like in Liz Tomford's writing, you just kind of get thrown into the scene and then you get introduced to the background of the characters, and I feel like that's very, very natural and easy flowing, and I like that about the books. And so this book, as I said, Caught Up, follows Kai and Miller. Kai is Isaiah's older brother from Play Along, and Miller is the coach's daughter, and she is hired to become the nanny for Kai's son Max, but it really was that so her dad can spend time in the summer with Miller. And Miller just recently quit her job as a baker in a restaurant, I believe. And so that just kind of unfolds as we get into this book, and she's trying to figure her way around what she loves to do and her work and all of that. And forgive me, construction is going on in the background again. Cannot do anything about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading this book, and I will give you guys more updates later. Okay guys, really quick, before I go, I'm about to leave the house and I needed to give you guys an update on Caught Up. I'm on chapter 10, I'm 86 pages in, and I just got to the part where there's Isaiah and Kennedy. They're so cute together. I love them both, and I know you get introduced to Isaiah and Kennedy in this book before you get into Play Along for their book. But because I read Play Along before I read Caught Up, I love them so much, and they were so cute here. The banter between the two of them in the previous chapter was just a sliver of Play Along, and I'm whizzing, and it's so cute. They're so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading as I'm headed out. Days later, I don't know if you guys noticed anything different, but I'm sick. I am sick, and I just started recovering about yesterday, I think. Yeah, I think yesterday was the start of my recovery process, and nothing crazy. I just have a little bit of the flu. Anyways, I digress. But in the times where at the time when I was like super sick, I was like super sick for like 3 days, and so I was like just laying down in my bed, like was like basically rotting in bed. Honestly, I couldn't do anything. Like every little sudden move I do, I'd get nauseous and I'd start throwing up, and so like I just had to like lay down in my bed. I couldn't even pick up my phone. Like it was to that point where I just was so nauseous I couldn't even pick up my phone. And mind you, I was trying to get this video up, but never mind. I had to make the announcement that I was not going to have this video up on schedule. So anyways, without me yapping on about me being sick, what I was gonna tell you was that during that time when I couldn't get out of bed and I couldn't check my phone, I did ended up finishing Caught Up, and oh my god, I love this book so much. I'm in love with this book. Is it possible? I think it is. I don't know. Here, okay, let me just give my review for this book before I actually talk about what I think about Caught Up and Play Along, because I've read both books now. The first thing is that Caught Up follows Kai, who is Isaiah's older brother from Play Along. We get introduced to them before we get introduced to Isaiah, and Kennedy in Play Along. So Kai here has a son. His son is Max, and he didn't know that he had a son until 6 months later when his mom dropped Max off at his doorstep or something like that. And so he became a full-time dad while he's also playing as a baseball player. He is a starting pitcher for the Windy City series. What? The Windy City Warriors, the baseball team. And then you meet Miller, who is his coach's daughter. And so Kai here has a streak for always firing nannies that have been nannying for his son. And then this summer, because Miller came back home to her dad because she was burnt out from her job, and because she's a baker, she's a pastry chef, and because she was so burnt out of the job, she decided to take the summer off. And so she joins her dad in his baseball tour. I don't like, yeah, basically she follows her dad and wants to spend the summer with her dad, but she and her dad ended up making Miller nanny for Kai's son, and that just goes from there. And let me just tell you that the banter in this book was so good. I loved both Kai and Miller. And the thing is, Kai and Miller actually reminded me a lot about myself, because Kai is the type of person who has a hard time asking somebody for help, and that is me. There's a line in this book that was talking about how it's okay for Kai to just kind of like ask somebody to help. I think Isaiah said it to him, and it hit me so hard, and I was like, oh my gosh, this speaks to me in a different level. And then I see myself in Miller as well, because the thing is, like, I've always been an overachiever ever since I was in high school. Like, I just not high school, like in middle school, I've always just been like this overachiever, and like I always set goals for myself, and if I don't meet that goal, I'll just like beat myself up over that. And like I've seen myself grown out of it, but like some parts of me still does like want to live off of check marks and all of that, and like is basically like running to the next achievement or next check mark. And I'm glad that I've like grown out of that phase of my life, because that was me in high school to the T. Like that was me, and it was like very hard. And so like in this book, when I read about that, I was like, okay, 17-year-old Nat would have loved to read about that. Like it would have hit her if she read this when I was 17, but of course I didn't. This book just came out this year. So anyways, rambling on about this, I love both Kai and Miller, their relationship, the chemistry between the two, and then I love Max in this book. I think like I've just been reading a lot of like single dad tropes. Like I don't know why. I read Caught Up, which is a single dad trope. I read Wild Eyes, which is also a single dad trope. So basically, I've been reading a lot of single dad tropes, and I've actually loved it. I don't know why, but it's been really good. So far, so good. I love it. Now moving on to what I think about Caught Up and Play Along. Honestly, both of these books makes me so happy. Like you can see the smile on my face right now, because I love both these books so much. The Rose Brother are amazing. I love both of them. They are just chef's kiss, amazing. And I think I love Kai for more of like the more emotionally intelligent person that he is. I feel like Kai is more of an emotional guy and more sensitive. Isaiah too, he's pretty sensitive, but for me he is more of like the cocky, always like letting loose. He's the jokester, the prankster, and all of that. Like he's the type of guy that you would go to if you want to have a great time, and you just like, you know, like if you just want to have a great time, you go to Play Along. But if you're like wanting something like more emotional and tugging in your heartstring kind of a read, it's definitely Caught Up. So I love both these books for a lot of reasons, but like mostly it's because of how emotionally attached I am to both of these books. I love these two books, and I feel like I do see myself continuing the series. Like as I said, like I've been reading the series like from the last book to the beginning of the book, so like that's been pretty funny. But like I've been working my way down to Apple, so like I think I'm gonna continue the series. I don't know when I'm going to pick up Right Move, but I don't know. I just love Isaiah and Kai so much. I don't think like I'm going to love Right Move as much as I do love these two books, but I don't want to jinx myself because I've proved myself wrong. I thought that Play Along is like top tier, my favorite Windy City series book, but then like I got to read Caught Up, and yeah, there's a contender. So yeah, so that's it. So that's it, you guys. In this vlog we finished 2 books in the series. So I've continued the Windy City series, 2 books down, finished Wild Eyes, 2 books down in that series as well, until the other book comes out next year, and I'm excited for that. And yeah, I think that's the end of today's video. So thank you guys so much for being patient with me. First and foremost, thank you guys so much for being patient with me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys soon in another video. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.